Hi guys, welcome back. In the previous one we had this post fetched from our WordPress site. Now in this one, get individual posts and also try to get the images. Right now we are not fetching those. Let's look at the individual posts and how we can do it. Now first thing I'm gonna do is here in post.json we are hitting the entire URL, and I told you that we are gonna be separating this. So let's do that right away. So I'll create this library folder here, and I will create one file called variables, and in here we'll have some variables exported, something like base URL. So we can use something like this, base URL equals. Now the base URL in our case would be the WordPress site URL, this complete thing. I'll just remove that and put it in variable. Now the reason we are doing this is we can easily change it, and also we can use it anywhere we want. And also we'll have one more const posts API URL. Now we'll only use this part of it. All right. Now in here, this will, we have to fetch those, import. One is base URL, and the other one is API posts API URL. Now it's coming from library, variables. Now we will use it here. Fetch, we'll use backticks, and we need one more. Okay, so I'll paste the base URL here, post API URL here, and this should function as usual. Let's see. Something seems to be wrong. Oh yeah, so why did I this happens at times, so I should not be adding dollar to that. This happened like twice actually. It should be fine now. All right, yeah, so it's working. It needed some time. Okay, so now clicking on this, we need to go to route. For that we'll create a route here. I'll create a folder called posts maybe, and then inside we'll create dynamic Svelte file, and here we are trying to fetch an individual post, so we'll have to fetch that first and then show it. So we will have to use context module. We'll use a load function. So I'm gonna use what we already had in our index, the same thing. Instead of calling this slash, I'll have to use something like an ID, and we don't have that yet. We'll do that. We'll see how to get that. We'll have to fetch page also, because page is what will have that ID. So const ID equals page dot parameters dot whatever the name you have used here. I'm using ID, so it's ID. If you use something else, that would be you should put that here, id.json. But this route is not there yet, so let's create. So API will create a folder called posts. This is for consistency, you don't have to do that. And here we'll create something like id.json.js. Very similar thing. So we'll copy the same thing that what we had in posts here also. But in this case, what happens is we get in the request, we will have the ID. So const ID equals request dot params dot ID. Now that would be our ID. Now in order to get an individual post, so we should get the ID of the post. Now here, I don't know if we have the ID here. Yeah, it's post equals 33 is the ID of this post. Now in our API, what we do is slash, we pass that ID 33. Now in this case, we are having all the posts, right? So there are more as well. But when we hit this, we'll just get one post, right? So let's do that. So we only got the 33 post. So let's use that here. Just add ID at the end. Now what we get is not posts, it's a singular post. Let's change to that. And now when we go back to here, we'll also make it singular here, post. That's what we get. And one more thing is in the route, we have to change it to slash posts slash it should be post.id. Now let's use backticks and that should take care of it. Read more posts. Yeah. Let's go back here. Let's click on read more, and we are not seeing anything because we are not showing anything. I'm guessing it is working. Let's get the post here. Script export let post, and as a h1 will show. We may have to use at HTML post dot title. Why it is dot rendered. Okay, do we get it here? Cannot read rendered of undefined, so it says it's undefined. Why? Okay, maybe we need a slash here. Let me look at the variables. Okay, so the problem was I did not have this slash at the end of post API URL. That is why it was without this slash. Probably that is the reason. Okay, we got it. It's fixed. We can get other things. Let's have content at HTML post.content. I think it's also rendered. I don't know. Not quite sure. Yeah, it is. So we're getting it. Now let's go back. Let's click on what's new on webjar.com. Yeah, it's working. Hello world. Yeah, everything is working. So we got the post, individual post working. That's great. In the next one, I'll show you how to get the images for the index and also for individual posts. Thanks guys. Bye bye.